Hey, 5 in the morning, December the 19th, 2025, here at the Hotel Orloff. Well, I had, week before last, I had this eye done with, as far as cataract surgery. And now I've had this eye done on Tuesday. So it's now Friday, and looks like I'm seeing 20/20 out of both eyes. See really good, both eyes, but having to put eye drops in during the day. But I found these old readers. These are, it was a real blessing. I found them. I've had them for about 5, 6 years, but I need them. What they do is they put a new lens on your eye, I guess, and it's adjusted for you to see distance. But as far as close up, it's a little, it's kind of a little hard to read. So once everything's healed, I guess at the end, well, I go to my final appointment New Year's Eve with my ophthalmologist to look and see how things are. And then after that, he'll be a month later. After that, he'll be able to give me an actual prescription for close up. But these are pretty good for seeing up close, and like I can see and read to you this Christmas card that we received. Look at that. And this is from Jeff, also known as Thomas Fairfowl. It says, Christmas 2025. Dear Ken and Cleo, Merry Christmas to you and all the other denizens of the Hotel Orloff, and the best wishes for a happy and prosperous 2026. Jeff Thomas Fairfowl. So that will be put on a well, I put it on the mantle, except we don't have a mantle. Although I've seen pictures of this place from the 1920s, and there was a fire, there was a chimney. That chimney's been removed. So, well, I noticed the flags at the post office and everywhere, federal buildings are at half-mast, and I thought, well, is that because of Bob Burns passing? And then I realized nobody knows who Bob Burns is, except for a few people that grew up loving monsters and science fiction and the original Ghostbusters. So it's not that. I said, could it be because of Rob Reiner? I don't think so. Not that there's any. I mean, Rob Reiner was a good filmmaker, was Stand By Me, and this is Spinal Tap, and that movie that every middle-aged woman loves, The Princess Bride, and he was great as Meathead. But I don't think the current administration would want to put flags at half-mast for. Well, maybe it's TV's Buck Rogers, Gil Gerard, but no. And then a friend of mine reminded me it's probably because of the shooting at Brown University. I said, oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. I just think, what famous celebrities or political figures had passed away, and I couldn't think of any. But anyway, yeah, Meathead on All in the Family was a great show. Even it was a show trying to make Archie Bunker look horrible because he was a bigot, and you're supposed to root for the Rob Reiner Meathead character, but most people had rooted for Archie Bunker and just thought the Rob Reiner character was an idiot. I don't think that was what it was the intention of the show, but anyway, it was successful. And This is Spinal Tap. We just started watching. There's a sequel to This is Spinal Tap now, and it's streaming, and we started watching it, but my wife hated the original Spinal Tap. I was just like, how do you hate Spinal Tap? But, people are different. Not everyone agrees with me completely. I have to come to terms with that. But anyway, we didn't get far into it because she was not into it. But it's weird that we just put on a new Rob Reiner movie just maybe 2 days before that horrible incident with his son. I'm listening to music, trying to get into the Christmas spirit, because like Charlie Brown, I'm having trouble getting into the Christmas spirit this year. All the commercialism, now it's not that. But let's see. I'm listening to music from the SS Kresge Company. And what is that, you ask? It's Kmart was called Kmart because Kresge, the owner, the founder of the place, his name was a little hard to pronounce, but the store was originally called SS Kresge, And so what you've got here on YouTube are these records that were played over the public address system so it's like going back in time into five and dime store in the 50s, and you can play this in your humble abode, and I recommend that you do. And then there's some music from the 70s from Kmart that you can find, a really good, like, couple of hours worth of Christmas music. I recommend that on your as your family gathers around the fireside. But Bob Burns, man, what a loss that was. He's one of the original Monster Kids. Forrest J. Ackerman was a kid of the 20s and 30s. Bob Burns, that loved monsters and science fiction. Bob Burns was a kid of the generation a couple of decades later. As a teenager and a young man in the 50s, and he was friends with the Blaisdells that created a lot of those AIP monsters, the She Creature and the Invasion of the Saucermen, the big giant head. I mean, they conquered the world. They built all those monsters, and then they had them in their garage. And he, all his life, he was in quest of building the better gorilla suit. And then all through, he had a great gorilla suit, and he would get into it, and he was a really good ham actor. And he was in a lot of movies as a gorilla. Great movies like, Rat Finka Boo Boo, and it was supposed to be a Batman and Robin parody, and it was going to be called it was going to be called Rat Fink and Boo Boo. But when they did the titles, they misspelled it. Whoever did the titles put Rat Fink a Boo Boo, and they didn't. We already paid for the titles. Let's just change the name of the movie. It kind of sounds like a go-go. But anyway, I remember the Saturday morning of 1975-76 season. There was a show on Filmation, live-action show called Ghostbusters, and it had Larry Storch and Forrest Tucker from F Troop. Like 10 years after F Troop was probably canceled, and it had Bob Burns playing the gorilla. And I remember it was Spencer, Tracy, and Kong. But of course, you would think Kong was the gorilla, but he was actually Tracy, and the Forrest Tucker character was the one that was named Kong. And it was a great show. It only lasted one season. That and Far Out Space Nuts was another great one She's making me feel guilty because I don't have any more dog food. I won't be able to get and eat until 7 a.m. and it's probably 5:15. I don't know. You might be able to tell better, except I've got all these toys hiding the clock back there. So Bob Burns is great. Had a tremendous collection of Forrest J. Ackerman quality level. And he's a great guy. Put in these giant Halloween. His whole yard was done up like a completely amazing Halloween tableau every Halloween season. Great guy, Bob Burns. Tons of stuff you can watch about Bob Burns on television and YouTube. And, of course, Gil Gerard. Man, I don't know much about Gil Gerard except that he was Buck Rogers in the late 70s. There was Star Wars, and then Glenn Larson tried to imitate Star Wars by hiring John Dykstra, that did the special effects in Star Wars, to help him do a TV show, Battlestar Galactica. And we were all excited about that premiering, and man, that must have been the September of 78, maybe. Was it? Yeah, it must have been about a year and a half after Star Wars came out. And at first it's exciting. You have these Frank Frazetta paintings and the TV guide advertising the show, but it didn't have the spark of Star Wars. And you have the heroes running away. The whole thing, the heroes have been defeated and they're running away it's kind of what happened in Empire Strikes Back, but but I don't know. The characters were more interesting, you know. It just, eh, it was all right. I mean, I watched every episode of it, but anyway, it didn't succeed. I think because it was so expensive. So Glenn Larson decided, well, how about I try again with Buck Rogers and make it a little more campy and more space opera like. And so he did a Buck Rogers series that was more popular than Battlestar Galactica, and it lasted several years. Gil Gerard, I think, was hired because the $6 Million Man had been popular, and basically Gil Gerard is kind of like a Lee Majors type. He's got kind of a bit of a Southern accent. I think he's from Alabama, and he's just kind of one of those guys that back a few decades before would be starring in a Western, but now there are no more Westerns in the late 70s, so you put someone like Gil Gerard or someone like Lee Majors into science fiction-y kind of projects. And anyway, Buck Rogers was a fun show, a little too disco-y at times. I wish they had just kept the exact same look of the original comic strip. Can you imagine if they had done that with that cast? It was a good cast. Stop bothering, I'll have food for you soon. The cast was great. Man, you didn't eat some of your dinner last night. That's why you're in this position now. Trying to think if they have dog food at the... Yesterday, the wind was blowing 45-mile-per-hour gusts, bringing the temperature down to about -1. So I came straight home and I thought we had enough dog food, but I guess I didn't get enough. Yeah, I'm about to show some cool stuff, man. But with the last season of Buck Rogers, they tried to bring in a character like a Mr. Spock kind of character to kind of bring back the fans. They brought in some character called Hawk or something like that. Hawk the Slayer or something. I don't know. He's some Birdman guy. Soldier of Fortune or something with white bird hair or something like that. I remember the show, I think it had already been canceled, and there was at the Forum 303 Mall in the town where I was living, there was a science fiction comic book convention spread out throughout the whole mall, right? Throughout everywhere you walked in the mall were all kinds of great stuff. And they had those several times. One time I got a t-shirt for Revenge of the Jedi, but I wish I still had that. Long story. So anyway, I saw that actor that played Hawk sitting there, kind of contemplating his fate there next to a fountain by the Montgomery Ward. I was in the bookstore looking out and saw that guy. I didn't go up and talk to him or get his autograph, but it seemed, man, what has happened to me? I'm sitting here at the Forum 303 Mall in Grand Prairie, Texas, and what will happen to my future career? And of course, I don't know if I've ever heard of him since, but I don't know what Gil Gerard's done since. Aaron Gray, I showed my wife Aaron Gray because my wife was born about the time that show was on the air. And so she doesn't know Buck Rogers, but I showed her Aaron Gray, and she says, I know her from some sitcom. And so we looked it up. I think she was on something called Silver Spoons or something. So she may be more known for that. But people that are around my age probably remember her as Wilma Deering, Colonel Wilma Deering. You know, Buster Crabbe played Flash Gordon in 3 serials for Universal, and then there was a Buck Rogers serial that I think was done for Columbia, and I whenever I would see that, like on VHS back in the old, it was always this murky, dark cop. It looked terrible, so I never really could judge Buck Rogers as a serial because it always looked bad. But I noticed someone's got a really good quality copy of the Buck Rogers serial up on YouTube, so I'm going to watch that. Anyway. Yeah, okay, amazing. So, trying to get into the Christmas spirit, listening to Christmas music, it's almost doing it. Having to get used to putting these glasses on to see close up, man. It's all right. My world was closing in. I couldn't see anything. I really couldn't read anything at any distance. It was bad. Everything was blurry, so this is all really a blessing. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to way back when. Here is Captain Midnight, 1949. Let's see. Let's figure out how this works. Figure out how this works. Information is here. Here's the envelope it came in. Delpha Luttrell, Rural Road 6, Georgetown Road, Lexington, Kentucky. And it came from Captain Midnight himself. Look at that. Delpha. Man, have you ever met someone named Delpha before? Captain Midnight's Secret Squadron. New official code and manual for 1949. Look at that beautiful painting. Well, Captain Midnight was a comic book, of course, but it was also well known as a radio show. You can listen to episodes of Captain Midnight on YouTube. Oh my gosh, there's a key. Look at that. And then it says, please give this to your mother. You mother. Let's see. We open it up. It's an Ovaltine thing. It says, so when you give 2 to 3 glasses of Ovaltine a day plus normal meals, you can be certain that you have done just about everything you can do to improve nutrition. A new flavor. This is from the president of the Wander Company. He says, Ovaltine is especially processed for easy digestion. And it's helping you know what to give to your child so they'll be healthy. Read what you get in 2 glasses of Ovaltine. More vitamin C than 4 ounces of tomato juice. More calcium and phosphorus than 2.5 servings of American cheese. Man, look at all this stuff Ovaltine does for you, man. What is Ovaltine, the packaging of Ovaltine look like now? Is it still in a glass jar? I had Ovaltine every single day growing up because my mother was part of this generation. My mother was born in 1927. So, she grew up. Ovaltine was the thing to give to your child to make them healthy. Oh, well, I guess the directions are inside this manual. I didn't even open the manual. What is wrong with me? Look at this. You're probably all like cursing me. Why didn't you open the manual? Look at that. Look at the beautiful artwork, man. Captain Midnight calling with your first message as a flying member of the 1949 Secret Squadron. Look at these evil members of the New World Order. They're saying, "This terrible chief, Captain Midnight, has a new code. We must capture a codograph or all is lost." So the codograph is going to tell you, of course, if you've seen A Christmas Story, you know that it tells you to drink more Ovaltine, more than likely. So you're commissioned as a co-pilot in Captain Midnight's army. I will be loyal, I will be honest, I will be healthy. Learn well the secret passwords, sign and tap and whistle signals. The password, the sign, the signal. Oh, look at the sign, man. It's like you're a junior Mason. You make a claw. I am a member. Oh, maybe it stands for C, for Captain Midnight. I'm going to read all of this, trust me. Oh, here it is. Your secret keyomatic codogram. So that key, man. The thing is, someone in 1949, that's like 80 years ago, right? As, well, yeah, well, I'm not good at math. Saved this their entire life with everything that came in the envelope, including the little key. Isn't that neat? Of course, Little Orphan Annie was on radio, sponsored by the Ovaltine Company, and then they started. Then the Ovaltine Company started sponsoring Captain Midnight. Now, Little Orphan Annie is more remembered today due to a musical that came out that was on Broadway in the 70s that was made into a movie, a John Huston movie that is remembered, but I think at the time it wasn't that critically received. The critics thought that the Broadway production was better than that John Huston should avoid doing musicals. Of course, by then he was probably 80. That he was better suited to another type of film. So anyway, how about that? Captain Midnight. Anyway, so Little Orphan Annie, of course, had all the decoder rings and everything before Captain Midnight. But Little Orphan Annie was a great comic strip, and you just got to be kind of 100 years old, literally, to have been a kid during the 30s. Oh my gosh. A handkerchief. Let's look at it. Straight Arrow. Steve Adams. What does that say? Kaniwa Fury. Kaniwa Fury. And Packy. Yes, indeed. Oh, it's got a copyright on here. 1949 National Biscuit Company. Now, I assume this was a radio premium as well. I know there was a Straight Arrow comic book. I've got a couple of issues of it. But this is like my parents' generation stuff. Actually, this might be a little bit, they might be a little bit of, like my father told me that, when I asked him about comic books, he said, well, I had some Supermans. I really like Captain Midnight. I remember him telling me he was really, so this Captain Midnight stuff, Captain Midnight's a cool character, but it's really kind of a tribute to my father. Now, he was born in the late 20s, so 1949, he would have been in college. In fact, he graduated college in, I think, 51, and was immediately, the next day after his graduation ceremony, he got the letter that he was being drafted into the Korean War. So, happy graduation. Yeah, buddy. Oh, it's a few years earlier. Oh, Drew, how dare you? This is a few years earlier. It's the 1947 Secret Squadron packet, the official manual. This dog's gonna cannibalize me, man. Organize your own secret squadron flight wing. Man. Ooh, wow, look at this, man. Whoa, stop. How dare you? Stop. Shit, man. This dog's gonna cannibalize me. Look at that. Hoarder corner. What's up with that? Let me read that to you. There are pictures. These are pictures of nobody's friends. The artist was kind to Shark and Fury and did these pretty pictures of them. So we fired the artist. Can you draw a picture of what you think Shark really looks like? For the best drawing of Shark and the best drawing of Fury, Captain Midnight will award a fine 6-tube AC/DC Zenith portable radio. Yes, 2 radios, one each for the best picture of Shark and 1 for Fury. Page 14 has the full contest rules to follow. Okay, so this kid has solved some of the scrambled messages and has written them in pencil next to the pictures. Captain Midnight's Flying Museum. What you need, brother, is some Ovaltine. Ovaltine is what helped us defeat Hitler and his hordes. Brain teasers for SS members. That might be a little unfortunate. Secret Squadron, it's not the Hitler's SS. Can you read Chinese poetry? Oh, this kid has solved Chinese poetry. You see, he's done it in pencil. Do you see that there? And Captain Midnight's giving you his orders. Dozens of exciting uses for your codograph, this little whistle-looking thing. Wow. The artwork is just fantastic in these, man. I wonder if you join the Rosicrucians or the Masons, that they'll give you little booklets like this with little drawings stuff. Look at that, Morse code. Look at that, man. That makes it just look amazing. It's 1947 inscribed on it, on your codograph. Looks like a whistle, but it's a codograph. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that, man. It's alien technology that they took from the crashed ship at Roswell. They found a Captain Midnight codograph. Let's see, this one went to a different person. This one went to, oh man, Gordon Motion, 306 Oak Street. I need to look these addresses up, see what the houses are still there. Ypsilanti, Michigan. Gordon Motion, what kind of name is that, man? And have you heard of this place in Michigan? Man, that's got to be an Indian name. Look at that address there. Direct from Captain Midnight. And here it is, man. Now, I guess it's plastic, yeah. Now, they used to have something called Bakelite that they had before plastic was invented, but this feels like plastic, and I always heard that plastic was invented during World War II. Well, 1947 is after World War II, so look at that. How about that? Captain Midnight. Yes, indeed. Well, that's incredible. So what are you doing to get into the Christmas spirit? Listening to Christmas music? Okay, this does not go back to that far back. This is more from the 60s. There's plenty of good fishing here, but very little catching. I suppose this is an idiot card. Well, that's great. Just what I need. Model airplanes do not fold. From Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy. What's written on there? Man, that's how they got it to you? W. Penniman, 50. So, this is the way they wrote the address out. I guess the postman could interpret that. Let's see what we got inside this very delicate envelope. Oh, really pretty cool stuff. But this is something that I would want to make color copies of on cardstock so I could actually build it. But obviously you're not going to want to build from this. Oh, here's more of it. And then also very delicate is the instructions. Oh, and a Japanese plane. So this, what is the year on this? Might be World War II era. Why would anyone? I don't know. I don't know why someone would be building a Japanese plane after. Well, I guess you would be. People built. What do I know, man? Well, that's when it's in that box. Okay, I did my eye drops this morning. Showed you the Christmas card. I told you about the Christmas music that you can get on YouTube. I talked about Bob Burns, the tragic passing of Bob Burns, and Gil Gerard, and then and Rob Reiner was a very talented individual. It's just politically, in the last 10 years or so, he's kind of been more than a little obnoxious, but it's still anyone. That happening to anyone, it's man. Okay, all right, hold on. Let me pause this for a moment. I told you to look up Kresge, Christmas, Kresge, but I should have just told you the guy that has a lot of this stuff is Raptor's videos. Raptor. Raptor'', Raptor's videos. As a kid in the 70s, little, early 70s, I was really into dinosaurs, right? Like any normal little boy is into dinosaurs. And Tyrannosaurus Rex, Allosaurus, one of my favorite, all those Brontosaurus, all these dinosaurs, Stegosaurus and Triceratops. And then Jurassic Park comes out, and it's all about the raptor. I never remember reading about raptors. I'm sure they were in those dinosaur books I had as a kid, but it's almost like, did Spielberg invent a dinosaur? I don't remember ever anyone talking about raptors. Don't know anything about that. Don't know nothing about raptors. Yeah. Nothing, I tell you. There's another mail away from radio's Little Orphan Annie. Where's my reading? Oh. I guess what I need to get is some glasses that are clear at the tops, because I see fine in the distance now, and then have a prescription at the bottom, like without a line. I tried bifocals once, but that was a horrible experience. I wasn't able to wear them. This came from Chicago, Illinois. This is the original envelope. Oh, who did it go to? Arnold Farnsworth, 319 Cumberland Avenue, Park Ridge, Illinois. I need to write these names down and make them, when I do my Suno fake music on my radio show, these are people that can be credited as the performers and not anonymous demons talking through AI. Well, Trump's Truth Social platform was kind of like he came up with kind of a Twitter thing where, you could tell the truth. And now it's merging as of yesterday with some multi-billion-dollar deal with some nuclear fusion company. So that's the new thing, is nuclear power plants. They're going to start putting them everywhere, probably next door to your house, because apparently AI requires so much electricity that if it just starts sucking the electricity from the regular grid, we're going to have blackouts, brownouts. You're going to be freezing in the winter and hot, and you're going to be, hot in the summer, because apparently it takes a lot of electricity to build all that stuff, to do all the AI stuff. Anyway, this is the Little Orphan Annie song. So you can play it on your piano. There's a cute little girl and a great big dog. We see them every day, and that cute little girl and that great big dog playing the hours away. There's something about their manners seems so happy and gay. For the cute little girl and the great big dog cause lots of folks to say. Oh yeah, I know. This is the theme song to the radio show. Who's that little chatterbox? The one with the pretty auburn locks? Who do you see? It's Little Orphan Annie. She and Sandy make a pair, they never seem to have a care. Cute little she, this Little Orphan Annie, bright eyes, cheeks a rosy glow. There's a store of healthiness because of the oatmeal, of course. Oh, look, there's a letter that came with it. You don't want to hear me sing the Little Orphan Annie theme. Oh, look, she's raising a mug of Ovaltine to you. Cheers to a great 2025. Ooh. Radio's Little Orphan Annie. Dear friend, Chicago, Illinois, December 14th, 1931. This is before Action Comics #1, before Marvel Comics #1. This is before anything that you know. Before the golden age of comics started, this was printed. And, hold on. Let's see. Dear friend, Leaping Lizards, I certainly was surprised at the big number of letters I received in the word building contest. I thought Joe and I had lots of friends on the radio, but I didn't know we had that many. Why, we just got thousands and thousands of letters, and of course we only had 25 watches to give away. You certainly sent in a long list of words out of the name Ovaltine, and I thought you would surely get one of the wristwatches, but there were some other lists we got that had even more words in them than yours did. And of course, we had to give the wristwatches to the ones who sent in the most words. But even though you didn't win, I hope you feel the way I do about it. It isn't so much whether you win that counts, it's how hard you try. And if you feel that way I did about it, you had lots of fun working out the words, and you learned something doing it too. And it's the fun you get out of doing things that means more than the prizes you win. And don't think this is your only chance either. The company that makes Ovaltine is going to let us give away a lot more prizes to the girls and boys who drink Ovaltine and who listen to us on the radio. We are going to put on another prize contest right soon. But just the same, I want you to know Joe and I appreciate what you did in this contest. So we're sending you something to remember us by. Right with this letter, you'll find a copy of my very own song, the same song you hear over the radio every night. Words, music, everything. It's very easy to learn, so if you play the piano at all, you can play it for yourself right from this piece of music, or your mother can play it for you. And when you hear it over the radio every night, you can sing with us before and after every adventure. You'll notice I gave you the extra verses too in case you want some other words. Well, so long. Joe and I will be on the radio every night drinking. No, I'm sorry, that didn't sound right. Joe and I will be on the radio every night except Sunday, just as we have been. And we hope you'll keep on drinking Ovaltine every day because that's what keeps us on the radio. Listen at the beginning and the end of our adventures every night because we're going to have another surprise for you in just a little while. Goodbye, your friend, Radio's Little Orphan Annie, Shirley Bell. P.S. It's getting close to Christmas, so I hope you'll take this for my Christmas card to you. So this is her Christmas card to you, a rejection letter. You did not win. Instead, you get a sheet music for the theme song to the radio show, which you can hear the radio show on... why don't I put it on, man, while I'm in between? What am I thinking, man? Boy. My wife says this is a very bad look when I keep the glasses down like this. It just doesn't look good. But doesn't Santa Claus do that? Oh, boy, I hate having to type on the TV. It's so much easier to type on the phone. Oh, well, I've already done it before. Little Orphan Annie radio show. It came right up. Here's a broadcast from 1936. Let's listen. There we go. Hear that?
Whom do you see? It's little orphan Annie. She and Sandy make a pair. They never seem to have a care. You will see this little orphan Annie. Bright eyes, cheeks a rosy glow. There's a store of healthiness handy. My eyes always on the go. If you want to know, access handy. Always wear a sunny smile. Now wouldn't it be worth a while if you could be like little orphan Annie?
Here it is, 5:45 now, and time to hear more about the big new adventure that's starting for Orphan Annie and Simmons Corners.
Oh my gosh.
There are any of you boys and girls who don't like to drink milk, and your mother scolds you because you don't drink enough.
Ovaltine was great. I had that my mother gave me that I remember being in second grade having Ovaltine every day, man. What happened to Ovaltine, man?
That you have Ovaltine after this, because Ovaltine turns plain milk into the keenest kind of a treat. So chocolatey looking and good, and it tastes even better.
What else we got here?
What's more, your mother will be glad to let you have all you want to drink, because when you add Ovaltine, it greatly increases the food energy value of your milk.
Here's
Besides that,
Radio's Orphan Annie's Secret Society, 1936.
so you're able to get the good out of all
Bigger and better than ever. New signs, signals, codes, and secrets.
Now that's something your mother may not know, so you want to tell her about it right away. Ask her to get you a can of Ovaltine at her drug
It's kind of like a little comic.
so you can
Well,
start
not
drinking
quite.
it this very night.
Um,
Boy, You'll get us
This one went to Marie Schrader. This is the envelope it came in. Box 116, Fairland, Indiana.
And now, tonight's club night for all you 1936 members of Orphan Annie's Secret Society. And right after tonight's adventure's over, we're going to broadcast another secret message in Annie's mystery radio code. So be sure and keep listening. But now, let's see what's happening to Annie. Yesterday, remember, Mr. Flint was trying to sell stock in the new bridge to Jake at the Emporium.
So,
He convinced Jake he ought to think the matter over before he went into
I guess the trick would be to put this in a comic bag, but yeah, I think I'd get a Golden Age comic bag and then put the, well, I mean, I guess I could use the bag it's in here. There's Little Orphan Annie, there's Joe, there's Sandy. Of course, they're all comic strips famous that they don't have pupils. Which is, it was a great adventure strip. This was, I mean, it was great. It was like Johnny Quest. She went off on adventures.
Say, the windows are put back in. Somebody must be living there.
This meant a lot to this little girl that got this book. She saved it her whole life, man. Or maybe it was just thrown in a drawer and just happened to survive 100 years. I don't know. This little, this is inside of here. This, and it being inside the book has left kind of a shadow print of acid there. Oh, that's cool. That's like something out of an underground comic, the way her arm is extended. The 1936 membership pin does 3 things. That's great. The 3 things it does. First, it proves to everyone that you're a 1936 member in good standing. Second, it acts as a decoder to figure out Annie's secret radio messages automatically. Third, it has a secret mystery compartment in the back for carrying code messages, money, etc. Great printing in this.
So lazy he is that he won't shut the door when he goes out. And my little Rosa, she crawl out after him. Oh, he's the brains if he got any, I will spank him with my hand.
You mean the baby just crawled out through the open door?
See, what else? And that lazy Cesare, he leaves the door open, and my little Rosa, she crawl away.
Gee, I'm sorry, Lee. For a minute I was mad.
Who's Cesare? Oh, Cesare, he's my son, a big son he is. Cesare Ranelli.
Ranelli. Say, Joe, I know who he is. It's the new kid we met in school today.
Oh, Caesar. I know who you mean now.
See, my Cesare, he goes to school. Someday he be a great man. Here in America, everyone has a chance to be the great man. And maybe my Cesare, he be the president someday.
Pardon me.
I know who you are now, Mrs. Ranelli, if you're Caesar's mother. We met him at school. Joe and I both liked him, didn't we, Joe?
Yes. I thought he seemed like a swell kid.
My Cesare, he's a very swell kid. He's a fine bambino, even if
That was the 1936. Here's the 1937 Secret Society book.
Oh, I wash the clothes if I don't have a water.
And this one went to Marie Schrader. That's the same girl, isn't it? So both these are from the same
Hello, Mama.
Secret Society member.
Oh, hello. Hello, Caesar.
Howdy.
Just to wait till I put these pens and clutter on the floor.
Cesare, what do you mean by leaving the door
The
open?
artwork or graphics are really fantastic. There, she signed her name.
But where I left, my hands were full of
Marie Hattie Schrader. Let's say she's 10. That would mean she was born in 27. That's the same year my mother was born. How old would my mother be? Man, my mother would be 98 if she passed away in the summer of 2001, right? So, wait, when did She passed away just a couple of months before 9/11.
Well, if you say so.
Here's a little.
Santa Maria, she thank you too for bringing my rosa.
So I got her address there.
And now you go ahead and play with my Cesario. Find a boy.
Yeah,
And the
Fairland.
It's
just a box. Fairland, Indiana.
I guess I would better go. Can I
I
come
wonder,
back?
never heard of Fairland, Indiana.
And the little bambino, by now I guess maybe she like you, huh? You come back. But now, you go with my Cesare. I'll find a boy, I'll find a boy.
Dear friend, from this minute on, you are a 1937 member of Radio Orphan Annie's Secret Society, entitled to wear the new 1937 official pin and to learn the new secret codes and signals that no one but 1937 members can know. But right now, there are 3 things to do before your initiation is complete. First, turn to page 2 of this book and read Annie's 7 golden rules. Then sign your name on the dotted line at the bottom of the page to show that you will live up to these rules the best you can. Second, after you sign your name to Annie's 7 golden rules, put on your 1937 pin. Wear it over your heart where everyone can see it, and always be sure the catch is fastened firmly so it won't fall off and be found by some outsider. Third, print your name in the blank space on the back cover of the secret book to show it belongs to you. And another thing, read all about the Silver Star secret message ring that's illustrated on page 8. This is the first secret message ring in the whole world, so make up your mind to get one right away. And that's the letter I was just reading. Here's the 7 rules of how to live your life. I will study hard at school and at home because I want to have a good, keen mind. That's rule number 3. Number 1 is I will do the things my parents tell me to because they know what's best for me and I want them to be proud of me too. I will get plenty of exercise indoors and out because exercise and fresh air help keep me healthy and strong. I'll get lots of good sound sleep because every growing girl and boy needs plenty of sleep at night in order to do his best at school the next day. I will eat and drink the things my mother wants me to, like vegetables, cereals, orange juice, because she knows what's good for me. 6, I will drink my Ovaltine regularly every day to help nature make me husky, happy, and full of pep, like Orphan Annie is herself, and so I can do my share to keep her adventures on the radio to entertain all of us boys and girls. 7, I will be a loyal member of Radio Orphan Annie's Secret Society by learning all of the rules by heart, by never revealing the official secrets to anyone who is not a member, and by listening to Orphan Annie on the radio regularly.
Mr. Strong. Shucks, who's he? He's the chief engineer of the bridge. He's a naughty sort of man, but that's not a house, exactly. Not a house? No, it's an office. That's where all the business is done for the bridge.
The front, and best of all, right above the flat. It's adventure time with Orphan Annie.
Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's like some ancient Aztec thing. Okay, there he is. They're reading the code. Of course, you know from seeing the Bob Clark Christmas Story movie. Oh, this Christmas should be the one that you suggest when your family's over or you're visiting your family and everyone's watching a Christmas Story. Say, you know, this movie's so great. Why don't we watch some other movies by Bob Clark? I always thought that would be hilarious to do that. But I don't have any family left. Besides my wife, you know, pretty much. Got friends, but they all know, they're all in on the joke. Because it's like, oh, I enjoyed A Christmas Story. How about this movie, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things? How about this movie, Deranged? How about this movie, Porky's? Or Porky's the Next Day. They're probably just as great and just as heartwarming as A Christmas Story.
There's a beautiful American flag on the front.
Here's your new talking stationery.
We're going to put your initials to show it's your property.
Talking stationery, huh?
Or your own name. But wait till you see the other side. It has your official identification number stamped right into the metal. And remember, nobody else will have a number like yours.
Dear friend, we're having better adventures than ever now on the radio. Always be sure to listen at 5:45 sharp every day except Saturday and Sunday. Yours truly, Radio's Orphan Annie.
Then, if there's an emergency,
This talking stationery belongs to Inslee Herald. Let's see, what does it say here? Man, these names. Nobody's... You ever met anyone named Inslee Predmore? These names are like from another planet. Mount Bethel, Penna. I guess that's Pennsylvania. Penna. Back then, you know it's a small town. All you got to do is put your name and the town, and the postman knows where your house is. You don't... No zip code, no street address even. Oh, okay, so it actually is stationery in here. And envelopes.
And your name and address plainly on a piece of paper. Then send it to Annie with a dime wrapped in all of a metal foil seal from under the lid of a can of the new 1940 chocolate-flavored Ovaltine or plain Ovaltine. But remember, Annie,
how to write secret letters.
New improved chocolate-flavored Ovaltine. You send your letter to Little
Inslee Predmore. Inslee, do you think that's a girl's name? I guess so. That's the name I've never heard before. No offense if your name is Inslee. Ooh, there's tons of stuff in this envelope.
Boy, don't waste a minute sending for yours. And now, today's adventure with that. A bomb has destroyed part of the town hall in Sunfield. And that mysterious gang of boys, known as the Flak Jackets, is suspected of having set off the bomb. However, Annie doesn't...
Oh, this is war era.
Last time, she and Joe set out to slay the woman who Annie felt sure would lead
This
them
is
to the persons who are really guilty. Now, we find Annie and
definitely
Joe
war era.
following the woman
And here's
along one of the back streets of the town.
how to wear this on your uniform if you're in the military. It's Orphan Annie's Secret Guard. See how he's wearing that? I'm sure. Ooh, look at that. I've got to make color copies of this and get this framed. Uh-oh. Official member in Orphan Annie's Secret Guard. This, to whom it may concern, this certifies that print your name here, address, print your address here, has been duly commissioned, a charter member of the Secret Guard with all its rights as well as duties as evidence thereof. The above signed agrees to do his or her best to live up to our SG ideals and our official rules, and also agrees to listen every day for news on our official radio program and to keep our sleight-o-matic radio code and mystic signals a secret from outsiders. In witness thereof, we hereby set our seal and signature, Captain Sparks, Commander-in-Chief, and Orphan Annie, Lieutenant Commander. So, the Secret Guard is an organization to guard and preserve the ideals of American homes, and particularly the great American traditions of bravery, justice, and health. I always get health in there because Ovaltine, of course, gives you health. Oh, this actually is not a... Here is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, this opens like so.
Hey, but we better slow down or something. We're right across the street from the place. I know. Let's cross the street. There's nothing to do now but walk right in there and see what we can see. I hope you're noticing that this is a mighty tough-looking cafe. Yeah, from the outside it's about as bad.
Now, those earlier episodes, this one's from what year? I think this is World War II era. But the earlier episodes, they actually had a real little girl doing the voice of Little Orphan Annie, and she'd have to actually be transported to the radio studio every day to do it. You can see that lady interviewed on YouTube that was the voice of Little Orphan Annie in the 30s. But this sounds like by this time, they actually have an adult doing the voice. You can tell of Little Orphan Annie. So this is the Slide-O-Matic. Oh man, this dog's gonna F me up, man. Drew, be careful, man. This, you gotta be careful. Okay. Yes, indeed. I got a lot more stuff to show here, but let me move this stuff away. What time is it now? 6:10.
But now that the subject's come up, I'm surprised she didn't get into a car long before this.
Well, I thought of the possibility that she might. But after she walked 4 or 5 blocks, I figured we didn't have to worry anymore about that.
Well, there they go, in a big black sedan. And a mighty fancy-looking one, too.
Oh, golly, think, Joe, think there's something to do. We can't let him get away from us like this.
I don't see how we can prevent it. We can't chase him on foot.
Of course not.
But maybe we shouldn't have tackled this job of trailing that woman all by ourselves. I still don't see why we couldn't have had the chief send one of his men with us.
The chief will
Okay,
her story,
I'm
Joe.
gonna put some more Christmas
Once she was
music
the
on.
We waited to convince him that she wasn't. She'd have been gone before we could have got her.
Dog. The dog's gonna eat me alive. Dog, I'll have food in a little bit. Let's see, what do I have here?
Well, we haven't any place to live. We're by ourselves, and we better swim in on that boat and get away.
Hold on. Here, Drew. There you go. It's actually cat food, but maybe she'll eat it. And then I'll have some real dog food for you in a minute, Drew, if you just give me a little bit of time, man. Okay. He likes it. Hey, Mikey. Let's see. Yeah, she's eating the food. She's warning the little kitten to stay away while she eats the kitten's food. Okay. Here's an actual comic book from 1941. Oh, it's got some color-breaking spine ticks, so it's worthless. See, look at this color-breaking spine ticks. What will I do? It has color-breaking spine ticks. The Adventures of Little Orphan Annie comics. Well, this appears to be reproductions of Sunday comic strips, or possibly, yeah, that's what that looks like. Or they could be daily strips that have been colored in. Whoa, whoa. You can see it's an adventure strip. It's which is it's kind of a dark adventure strip. It's not what you think from, you know, watching the Annie musical. It's that's why this was popular. Then we move into the fun section. The Adventures of Captain Sparks. And the Hurricane Kids. Oh man, they're chasing, he's really walloping that caveman there. And then we have some more Little Orphan Annie funnies. Except they're not funny, they're adventure strips. Look at, see how dark it is? It's man, that's so great. Of course, these panels are meant to be seen in a larger format on a Sunday supplement. Learn to fly, aviation training cockpit, girls, nurse outfits. Amazing. From 1944. This looks interesting. You can build these characters. This is inside it. Apparently you can get these characters too, Popeye, and they're little toys that you can build made out of cardboard. And oh, that music is over. Pause the recording. This is important that you, it looks like maybe that's Dagwood, possibly. Okay, so it's this kind of toy where it looks like you have the ability to build Captain Sparks and this, is that, oh yeah, it's Daddy, well, is that Daddy Warbucks in his naval outfit? Is that what that is, probably? And then, yeah. Oh boy, things are falling off of here. Put that back in. Yeah, this is something that would need to be, you need to make color copies of this, I guess, to build it. Oh boy. So how are you guys doing this wonderful Christmas? You're all having a Merry Christmas. It's just wonderful, isn't it? Yes, indeed. No cutting, no pasting, easy to assemble. That's what they all say. Three-dimensional action comics in full color. Well, so. Okay. Drew has eaten a lot of all that cat food and every bit of the other. I need to completely give the cats. Drew has completely satiated herself, and the cats are looking on like, what the hell happened, man? This is a little Jack Armstrong newsletter. Jack Armstrong, of course, on radio was the all-American boy who I guess in World War II must have joined up with the military. That was a good radio show too. I assume, yeah, I know there were some Jack Armstrong comic books, but Jack Armstrong is primarily known as a radio character. Captain Midnight, I would say he's probably more known as a radio character than a comic character, although there were tons of Captain Midnight comics. And Little Orphan Annie, there were comic books, but she's primarily known as a newspaper, although a newspaper comic strip, although now anyone that remembers her probably remember. I mean, I know Little Orphan Annie growing up in the 70s. That comic strip was an ancient thing then. But loving the past, I sought out, reprints of Little Orphan Annie at the library, records of the old radio show. And having older parents, I was aware of the past. But I think most people that are my age probably only know Little Orphan Annie as the character from that musical from Broadway and Hollywood. Yeah. Yesterday was New Comic Day. There was a good book out if your local store ordered it, and that is a reprint of the Sensation comics, I believe, or with Wonder Woman dressed as Santa Claus up on a rooftop. That was reprinted as a facsimile and was in stores yesterday, so seek that out. I have one on hold at Gotham City Comics. I'll try to as soon as I get home from work today, I'll try to order that. And some other things have come in, like a new issue of Cryptology, which is a new monster magazine. And then there's a new Monster Bash coming out soon. Who did this one go to? What kid got this? Gerald Shadwick, 619 Wilson, Emporia, Kansas. Captain Midnight's Secret Squadron. Look at that. "1942 Book of Official Charts, Codes, and Secrets." That must have been a scary time to be a kid, 1942. Because when we first got into the war, it didn't look great. We started to be slaughtered until Patton came along and turned things around. The printing is just beautiful. I guess this is, it kind of looks like the old movie posters from this era. I think they called the printing lithography. Maybe that's how this is printed, but it's just the color dye that they're using and the reproduction doesn't look like anything you see today. Now, the geniuses like at National Lampoon magazine in the 70s, when they did parodies of 1940s stuff like this, propaganda, they were able to recreate that look because those guys were great. This is just incredible, a little slice of history. It's I don't know if this stuff will appeal to comic collectors, because comic collectors, a lot of them tend to be very snobbish. They'll say, well, I collect only comic books. I don't collect magazines. It's like they don't fit in the bags. They don't even realize that they make magazine bags. They just want only comics. And I always thought, man, what I thought was the most interesting when I was a little kid, the magazines like Creepy, Eerie, Vampirella, Famous Monsters, Dracula Lives, Vampire Tales, Tales of the Zombie, all of that was just as fascinating to me as, did I take my blood pressure pills? Well, I don't think I did. Did I? I can't remember. I did my eye drops. Anyway, in May of 1980, Marvel put out a comic magazine, Color Comic Magazine, an adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back. Came out about a week before the movie. And I remember that because it, obviously adapted the entire film, including the revelation that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. So kids that wanted to spoil it at school, high school, whatever, would know that magazine, right? Obviously, that's the first appearance of Boba Fett in comic books. Not that would used to be something cool, because Boba Fett was a cool character. Well, he used to be before they spoiled him with Disney, did all these series about him or some guy that looks like him, and then he wasn't interesting anymore, and then the prequels, that spoiled everything, because I don't want to see what he looks like under the, just like that Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd movie. No one wants to see what Judge Dredd looks like under the helmet. But anyway, so that magazine comes out. But then after that comes out in the regular color Marvel comic book that's on the spinner rack, then they start reprinting that adaptation one part at a time over the summer of 1980. But it's you can get it all together at one time right before the movie comes out, or you can wait like 4 or 5 months until they finish doing it in the color comic. So the color comic that where you first see Boba Fett, that's what the comic collectors consider to be the first comic appearance of Boba Fett, when clearly it wasn't. That was a reprint. But because they are snobbish against magazines, they that's the way it goes. Here's an actual comic book for you, comic book people. The original Indian hero of radio fame, Straight Arrow. Okay, so he's primarily a radio character. Look at that. And is not airplanes and cowboys. Look at that. Look at that guy sneaking up to brain you. Yeah, they would scalp you, but sometimes they would bash your brains in. I think they call it braining you, and crush your skull. And sometimes if they didn't like you or a whole lot, they'd cut your heart out and take it with them. But it's all right. I forgive them. They know not what they do. Okay. Look at these ads, man. That's great. It looks like something you get in the mail. Look, jewelry for your girlfriend. What the hell? How much is that jewelry? $6.98, man. Here's an engagement and wedding set. Eternal love. How much is that? Send no money. This is expensive stuff, man. A push-button switchblade knife. Okay, so what's the story on this Straight Arrow comic, man? September 1951. So it's Straight Arrow. pretty good artwork in here. Look at that. Now, the Straight Arrow radio show is not one why don't I know that is? I mean, I know Lone Ranger and everything, and Gunsmoke. Let's look up Straight Arrow. I think I've recorded enough Christmas music for this morning. I got to watch the time, man. What time is it, man? Let's take a darn look. Why, it's 6:26, man. Okay, Straight Arrow. STRAIGHT. Straight out of Compton. I don't want to see. Let's see. Straight Arrow. They're giving me suggested things. Straight a hit. Oh, stop. How dare you. Straight Arrow. Okay, how long until I get Straight Arrow radio show? Oh, that was a little kitten down there, wasn't it? Trying to grab my glasses. Okay, now I've got to type in radio because not many people look up the Straight Arrow radio show. There it is, finally. Straight Arrow old time radio. Oh, there's a whole playlist of them.
Nabisco, Nabisco is the name to know. For a breakfast you can't beat. Eat Nabisco. Keen eyes fixed on a flying target. A gleaming arrow set against a rawhide string. A strong bow bent almost to the breaking point. And then... Straight arrow. Nabisco Shredded Wheat presents Straight Arrow, a new, thrilling adventure story from the exciting days of the Old West. To friends and neighbors alike, Steve Adams appeared to be nothing more than the young owner of the Broken Bow Candle Spread. But when danger threatened innocent people, and when evildoers plotted against justice, then Steve Adams' rancher disappeared. And in his place came a mysterious, smallwood Indian, wearing the dress and war paint of a Comanche, riding the great golden Palomino Fury.
Oh, he's like the combination of the Lone Ranger and Tonto together, huh? Straight Arrow is like dresses up like an Indian, but he isn't an Indian. His name is Steve Adams. Now I get it. Intriguing. I don't know if that idea would go over too well today, but okay. So I got this little pouch for these reading glasses. Put them here. I got these at the supermarket. They wrap around just to protect my. Well, because now my sunglasses that I had are prescription, but they're prescription for the way my eyes used to be. So, in fact, these are my glasses that I was wearing before. I haven't tried this yet, putting them on now to see how blurry they are. Actually, it's just, I guess what it's doing is making my vision the way it was before. It's just messing it up just enough. Okay, well so anyway, these I'm just wearing mainly to like protect. Like yesterday, the wind was blowing up gusts of 45 miles per hour, and it was unbelievably cold. And so, to protect my eyes from dust or stuff blowing into them, because both eyes are now recovering from surgery, I bought these at the supermarket. So, do I look like an X-Man? So I got these. Well, go back and listen to some of my recent episodes where I play music, because trust me, there's some. I have like 20 minutes of songs about Enemy Ace. I've got songs about Sergeant Rock, about Sergeant Fury, about Betty and Veronica, about lots of songs about Frankenstein, and it's like listening to classic vintage radio. And I'm the DJ, and I play all this music that I created using Suno.com. And I used up all my credits for last month, but now on the 20th, which is tomorrow, I get my new allotment of credits. So I'll be creating a lot of new songs. Straight arrow. Yeah, that's something I got to look into. This gives me something to do over Christmas, is to investigate the world of straight arrow.
Pick up that fire, Spike. Hey, now you can make me out, Hawthorne.
Right.
Yep.
That patient I lost that evening.
You were the...
But I got the bill, I think, from the anesthesiologist for my eye surgery. I think it's like $480, and so I got a bill, and then I called him up and said, "Can that be broken up into payments?" And I was talking to some guy in another country. I said, because $480 is going to kill us right now. He says, "That is correct." "That is correct, Mr. Bond. We want you to die." I don't think he meant that, but it was funny. I had to keep from laughing. I said, "It's going to kill us right here." "That is correct. And we could break that in 2 payments of $80 a month." And I was like, "Okay, for 6 months or something." But that's not the, my what you call it. My insurance pays for 80% of the surgery I had. But that's going to leave, I don't remember, they said $1,900 or $900 I'm going to have to pay out of my own pocket. It was something. So I will I get that on a payment plan too when they start billing me for that. My friend that drove me said his brother paid for his what he had to pay out of pocket. I think someone said their dad kept waiting until he was 65 so that Medicare would pay for the surgery. I guess, does Medicare pay 100%? I don't know how all that works, but anyway, I couldn't wait 5 years. My world was closing in on me. I wasn't able to see, read anything in the distance. It was really not good, and my prescription glasses were no longer doing anything. So it was something I needed to have done, and I'm so glad and so grateful, and I give thanks to God for this, because the surgery was not scary. It was kind of interesting, the procedure, and they shoot you up with enough joy juice that you're not feeling too bad, and this eye, I'm still getting a little bit of flashing in my peripheral vision. They said that's completely normal, but just because I've got this bright light off to my side here. But anyway, it's cool. So I yeah, Little Orphan Annie was once huge, and now even Little Orphan Annie, Popeye, even the Peanuts characters. I think I heard Peanuts was just sold to some other big company. Maybe it's just like the kids of today. They know Pokemon, and they know Scooby Doo, and a lot of them know Tom and Jerry. But a lot of these old characters just did not stay in the popular consciousness, and no one knows. The people just don't know what they are now. Um, Gotta get my. But I was thinking maybe I should do a GoFundMe. Maybe people can help out with eye surgery. But I think I've worn out my welcome with GoFundMe's, and I don't know. Maybe there'd be some nice people to help us out a little bit. Um, yeah, maybe I'll do that. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? I've already given up my dignity. But, this is pretty cool. This Little Orphan Annie song, man. Um, let's see. Um, oh, I got 901 subscribers now. I thought I would never get. I remember when I never thought I'd get 30 subscribers, and somehow it finally happened. This is my radio show. So I don't know. Hardly anybody watches my radio show, but. Oh, I love Archie comic books. Larry Lieber, Let's Children. Oh, that was a good song. I love Archie comic books by Larry Lieber. Lots of songs about Planet of the Apes too. Well, that's the Putos from 1957 here on KLIF out of Dallas, Texas, ladies and gentlemen.
I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I do, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby. I love Archie comic books, and I love you, baby.
Oh, I love Archie comic books. Larry Lieber, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody's doing the KLIF twist. Dallas is moving to the KLIF twist. In Highland Park,
Okay. Okay, man. It's about time to get some breakfast, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, got to put more cat food out. The dog raided the cat food. Now the cat's got nothing. Okay. I may have taken my blood pressure pill twice. I just couldn't remember if I'd taken it, so I took it again. Whoa. These cats are everywhere, man. Here's one now. Okay. All right. Now I can't see. That's great. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm about to run into a wall, aren't I? Okay, there's a wall. Normally I'd use the flashlight on my phone, but because I'm filming a show. Okay, I see the crack in the light from the elevator, so I have a beacon. Just need to kind of shuffle along so I don't step on a cat. Okay. All right. I made it into the elevator. Okay. Let's go down to the garage. Put my car in the garage because it was so darn cold yesterday. So if I can't turn off the light in the garage, in the elevator, okay. Let's take this bag of trash to the trash can.
Transmitting on 162.45 megahertz.
What is this noise? Why does it make this noise when it started the other day when I turn on the engine? It goes away after a little bit. What does that mean? Those of you that know about cars. Probably something horrible. Oh boy. And then the garage door, I can't make the garage door go down, so I've got to go back into the garage and come back out to shut the door. That's another annoying thing. Damn it. There's another bag of trash I can take out. Okay. Oh boy. Trash can's already full. They don't pick it up till Tuesday, so man. And it's Friday morning. Okay, garage door is closed.
Bedford, Mount Air, and surrounding locations for today. Sunny. Highs in the upper 30s. West winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour, increasing to south 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour this afternoon. Wind chill values as low as 2 below this morning. These are the 6 a.m. conditions for the Creston area. At the Creston Airport, it was clear. The temperature was 10 degrees, the dew point 3, and the relative humidity 72%. The wind was northwest at 9 miles an hour, producing a wind chill of -2. The pressure was 29.95 inches and steady. Looking around the area, it was clear, with a temperature of 13 at Lamoni, 14 at Shenandoah, and 14 at Corinda. Under clear skies, Atlantic reported 12, Harlan reported 10, and Des Moines reported 12. Here are some conditions elsewhere in Iowa and Missouri. Skies ranged from clear to partly cloudy. It was 4 at Cedar Rapids, 12 at Ottumwa, and 17 at Kansas City. St. Joseph reported 16, Omaha Council Bluffs reported 13, and Sioux City reported 8. Now for a few weather conditions around the region. At Grand Island, it was clear. The temperature was 17 degrees. The wind chill was 7. At Sioux Falls, it was cloudy.
There's a Scully gas
The temperature
station.
was 7 degrees. At
They made
Minneapolis,
Captain
Sioux
Midnight
Falls, it was clear.
paraphernalia. Scully.
The temperature was -3 degrees. The wind chill was
At the movie
-14.
theater.
Once again at 6 a.m. in Creston, it was clear. The temperature was 10 degrees. The wind chill was -2.
They're playing some computer animated cartoon about David, like David and Goliath, apparently this weekend. They can't seem to find a movie in Hollywood to bring to that theater that I want to see. I'm not sure if it's the theater's problem or Hollywood's problem. I think it's Hollywood's problem. There's not many movies coming out I care about anymore. Oh my gosh, hold on. We recording? Yes. Beautiful sunrise. Gas here is $2.47. It's the Cemetery.
Saturday night, partly cloudy until midnight, then becoming mostly clear. Cooler with lows in the lower 20s. Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs around 40. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunday night, mostly cloudy. Near steady temperature in the lower 30s. Monday, mostly sunny. Notice cool highs around 50. Monday night, partly cloudy. Lows to the upper 30s. Tuesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 50s. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy. Lows to the upper 30s.
But here the gas is $2.37, $10 less than just a few blocks away.
Wednesday night, partly cloudy until midnight, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the lower 40s. Christmas Day, mostly sunny. Highs around 60. Again, the forecast for Corning, Bedford, Mount Air, and surrounding locations.
Did he say it was going to be 60 on Christmas Day or 16? I couldn't even hear. What the hell?
Up to 20 miles.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it says that we're at 17 degrees according to my car's thermometer here.